This video is sponsored by the subscribe button, as we are going for 20,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. Hello there, welcome to the channel, and today we have some actually insane updates for LEGO Star Wars 2026 sets and minifigures. So if you enjoy these updates, please do let me know your thoughts in the comments while watching, as well as liking the video. With all of that out of the way, let's jump right in. Alright, so we've known for a little while now that in March of 2026, LEGO is set to be making an entire wave of sets on the upcoming Smart Brick that they plan on implementing into future sets, but starting in March of 2026, that is when they appear to be rolling out all of these sets and minifigures, which we'll take a look at here in just a second. We actually have pictures of minifigures that will be coming out in 2026. But quickly, we will go over the rumored March sets, starting off with the 75420. This is going to be a $40 set, coming in with 215 pieces. Really bad price per piece there, and that is a trend that we'll see on most of these rumored March sets. Next up with the 75421, a $60 Darth Vader's TIE Advanced with 473 pieces. The next set is the 75422, a $70 set with 440 pieces. That is really bad price per piece there. And once again with the 75423, $90 Luke's Red 5 X-Wing. And if you didn't already see, this X-Wing did leak just a couple of weeks ago. It should have 584 pieces, and it is a tiny model. I don't know if there's any side builds. Currently, we don't know too much about that, but the X-Wing build for $90 is horrendously small, and so many people are really mad at LEGO about this. But the final 4 sets for March, as of the current making of this video, is 75424, a $50 set with 347 pieces. Then there's the 75425, an $80 set with 666 pieces. There's the 75426, a $100 set with 885 pieces. So this is actually pretty good price per piece. I'm surprised to see this one. And then the 75427, $160 with 962 pieces. Terrible price per piece, nearly as bad as some of the summer sets from 2025. And all of these sets are actually age rated to like 6+, 7+, 8+, 9+ as the recommended age rating, which means that this pretty much confirms that these will be included the Smart Brick functionality that apparently goes from not only sets having functionality to be able to play with the sets, but also the minifigures. Yes, we saw a leaked image, and there is also a leaked patent, maybe not leaked, but a patent that was submitted by LEGO to pretty much redesign the minifigure a little bit, at least the torso, to include some functionality so that the minifigures can actually mix together and be playable with the Smart Brick. Now, I don't know if you could like tap the minifigure on the set, or if there will be just a Smart Brick that is out of all times that you can tap against the minifigure. Currently, that is unknown. I imagine it's more of like a play with the minifigure and connect that with a set, and that's what I expect from this. But there is also a leaked number of minifigures and character names that should be getting minifigures with the Smart Brick next year in 2026. And the list of characters that should be getting Smart Brick minifigures are starting from the top with Farm Boy Luke. We're also getting Training Luke, which is probably the Dagobah Jedi Training Luke. We have Pilot Luke Skywalker, probably coming with that X-Wing. We're getting Han Solo, as well as Emperor Palpatine, or probably Emperor Palpatine because the list just says Palpatine here. We're also getting Chewbacca, Darth Vader, Yoda, and apparently Greedo as well, a minifigure we have not seen in a quite amount of time from LEGO. It's been like 5-6 years now. And there will also be more Smart Bricks apparently, and this all comes from Get Cooped on Instagram. But I'm very, very surprised, and the fact that this is actually coming with more changes and upgrades to a minifigure, thanks to the leaked information that says the torso is permanently connected to the hips, so you can no longer disconnect the legs, or at least the hips, from the body and the torso, and it is heavier because of the battery that I assume is inside of the torso. It has wireless recharging, which is actually very impressive on a minifigure that small. There is going to be a warning printed underneath the arm on the side of the torso, most likely something with the battery and the dangers of it. And then it also seamlessly integrates with the Smart Brick system. Of course, take everything in this video with a grain of salt, but the amount of leaks that have been coming out about this Smart Brick is just something I never expected from LEGO. I imagined LEGO had learned their lesson about including technology in sets with like the Mario sets that I feel like are at this point like warming shelves. I mean, there are plenty on clearance at my local Walmart with the Super Mario sets. Now, I think Star Wars is a little more popular than Super Mario and Nintendo, but at this point, I don't know why LEGO's doing this. I thought the way they were going at in 2025 was amazing. Some of the sets were great this year, and if they're going to make an entire wave of smart brick sets, that is extremely disappointing in my opinion. And I do feel like this could end up turning off a lot of fans. There are some good rumors for 2026, and with the January sets, they're not amazing. I would say that some of the January sets are quite underwhelming, and the fact that an entire wave of sets, and that will go into the final number of sets of the year, if LEGO, wants to release 30 Star Wars sets, if we get like 8-10 smart brick sets, that's 30% of the sets next year that will be including smart brick functionality, which is a big loss to a lot of people who just want to see normal playsets without an increased price boost into the product, just because LEGO wants to integrate a little bit of technology that, sure, it might be cool. I'm not going to hate on the smart brick system. I'm sure LEGO's been working on it for a long time, redesigning the minifigure like this pretty much completely from the scratch, introducing that much technology into a small character is very impressive. It is a impressive feat from LEGO that they have done this, but I am very worried, and this doesn't seem like the best way for LEGO to be going at this point in time, because they're really going to create the gap they're going to create an even bigger gap from the UCS 18 plus sets that are amazing display sets, and then there will be like a void all the way down into the smart brick sets, and these smart brick sets are going to be very child oriented, like 8+, 9+, even 6+ age rating is not much higher than a 4+ age rating. LEGO is making these sets very simple for kids, like we saw with the leaked X-Wing, and it just means that there won't be any play sets like we saw in the 2010s or even in the early 2020s, like with all of when those new Star Wars movies are coming out about 10 years ago. We were getting tons of like 10+, 12+ play sets that were good for adult collectors because the models were sophisticated enough to look good on shelves, and then they were great for kids. But nowadays it feels like LEGO is really making that gap a lot bigger, and it's a concern in my opinion, and something that I think that more people need to talk about, because that means that there will no longer be a lot of sets for teenagers and even preteens that don't want to buy a overpriced X-Wing at $90 just because it has a small functionality, but they also don't want to buy an 18+ no minifigure helmet just to look good on a shelf. And I'm sure LEGO will continue to release play sets like they did this past summer, but if LEGO continues to do this, and if the smart brick sets sell well with the younger population, then LEGO will probably have no choice but to just make more of them. But the idea for this is very controversial, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section below about this. And there are also apparently going to be more characters than the rumored list of minifigures that are getting the smart brick functionality. So the fact that they completely redid the minifigure is very impressive, and I'm surprised it hasn't leaked until now. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you very much for the support on the channel here in the past couple of weeks. It's been amazing, and I can't wait to continue to make videos up until we get more 2026 images and more summer leaks, hopefully soon, because it is getting a little bit dry with information recently. But I do hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and goodbye.